Oh, hello there. You caught me reading some literature. My name is Aislin Walker. I'm an old-fashioned guy that's just here to change my ways by complaining about what other people are doing wrong on the internet. I used to run away and do things that were awful. I was a boozer, a cruiser, and a no-good loser. But within time, trying to redeem myself by going away and finally discovering who I was meant to be. I finally discovered that I didn't need to react that way to others. I didn't need to be the cruel, unkindly person that I was. I didn't need to be angry, and I could change and be a really calm, nice person from now on. Maybe it's the fact that I'm crazy. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Whatever it is, I'm not sure, and we can't be sure of anything these days. But the only thing we can be sure of is that... Hello, my name is Aislin Walker, and I'm a maximalist, not a minimalist, and this is Late Night with Aislin Walker. Welcome. When you were a child and you would stroll through your local toy store or equivalent, and you would walk down the store and admire everything down those hallways, glimpsing at you, catching your attention, doing what capitalism is forcing your little tiny brain to do. And when you were wandering down these halls, didn't you just think, man, I really do love beige. That's my favorite color. 5-year-old me loves a good old minimalism cream. Absolutely not. You can probably tell from everything that I am a maximalist, not a minimalist. And I have a problem when it comes to minimalism and people who are trying to force their children to become minimalists. Not only that, but just the parenting styles of most millennials these days, and they're just awful cringe. I just want to talk about it, okay? If you've been on TikTok or YouTube recently, you've probably been seeing those videos of beige moms, which is basically just a mom who hates joy. Beige moms or minimalist moms do things like take their children's toys and decorations and spray paint them with toxic chemicals to change them into just boring, like, plain landscapes. Something just doesn't feel right about stealing your child's toy and then taking it and completely changing that vibrant color.
Hello.
Oh, hey God, what's up?
Oh, not much. I was just...
Yeah, no,
no,
it's okay. No, sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, it's okay, man. No worries.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that I was wondering what you actually had to say about this, because something just didn't feel right, you know?
Millennials, this is not good. This is not good for your kids' brains, and you need to, stop, because I'm God and I say so. Bye.
Thanks, God. You're
you're
always
welcome.
so kind with no repercussions. Let's quickly talk about the differences between minimalism and maximalism. Maximalism is things like this: taking everything you like, shiny whatever, and just putting it everywhere, keeping things you like, aka living how you actually want. Minimalism is a way to torture yourself into thinking like you're actually doing something better whilst you're actually creating more waste and kind of being worse and usually being bad for the environment. And don't have to talk about the race. I mean, we could go on, but we're not going to go. We'll get there. First of all, I want to talk about the fact that a lot of these videos, you will see parents taking their kids' toys and spray painting them. Like this one with actual spray paint. That's toxic, right? Like if you want your child to play with that and they end up inhaling it in some way or getting it on their skin or something, like God for fucking bid, that's not gonna go well. You should be doing this in a safe I hope these parents are actually being safe about this and not just like getting the nearest Krylon, make it your spray, and like changing it into a shitty Jackson Pollock. These minimalist aesthetic homes do nothing but stop a creative environment. They don't fuel kids' creativity. The environment that these kids are growing up in is not gonna say, yes, be who you wanna be, experiment, do all these things, figure out who you are. Instead, it's an environment that says, stay on the runner. Like, these houses just have absolutely no inspiration. They look look almost like hospitals. Sure, you might be organized, but who really cares if it just looks like you haven't even moved into your home?
10 things I don't buy as a minimalist mom in 2023. This one might come as a surprise. We actually don't own a dining room table, and I don't plan on buying one anytime soon.
Why?
I get people asking.
Why no dining room table?
Brand new clothes. I really never buy brand new clothes. I get people asking me all the time for links on my clothes and my dresses, but I buy everything thrifted.
Thrifted is great, but most of you millennials don't actually thrift, or if you do, you Depop thrift and then sell it back to Goodwill and then just completely ruin it by going back into the cycle.
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening. When all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating voice.
Oh no, I'm so sad that your family actually gave you gifts because they thought that that would be something good that your kids would want. Look how bland and sad these toys look. I mean, if I was a child, I would not give two shits about the fucking monochromatic, like, minimalist toys. I would want the colorful ones. This is one of the worst ones, and she's kind of famous. She completely destroyed her children's toys here. This was one of the cutest things ever. It was a little cart that was pink, and she decided to paint the entire thing, again, with toxic paint. Who knows if she did a top coat? Who knows if it's paint that's safe to inhale? We have no idea. I'm guessing not. Oh, Krylon, yeah, because that's going to be great for your children. This one makes me so mad. If I was a child and my mom took my toy, again, spray painting it with toxic paint, and then put it on the shelf so I couldn't even play with it anymore, I would be crying. I think this child probably did. They're probably not allowed to. You know what? Fucking, oh boy, I'm sure he loves this. I'm sure your kid loves this. Yeah, that looks so much better. Oh wow, now it looks like a cardboard. You did so good. He loves it. This is my purgatory because it looks like an IKEA showroom. It literally looks like you went to the kids section at IKEA. Oh great, a keepsake. Yeah, because that's what we want. We want to turn them into keepsakes. Ugh. Remember Chuck E. Cheese? I think they might be going back. I don't know. I keep seeing people talk about it, but I'm not really sure what's happening with it. But Chuck E. Cheese's slogan was, where a kid can be a kid. I think that these parents need to take their kids to Chuck E. Cheese, or at least be shown a Chuck E. Cheese ad again, because they will not let their children be children. What is wrong with letting a child, especially an infant or a baby, be a child? Children like bright colors. They like toys. They like destroying things. They like chewing on things. They're menaces, okay? And that's fine. That's good for their development. That's what they're supposed to do. When you restrict your kid to nothing, you're not letting them actually express the things they want to express and discover what they like. They're just doing what they think they have to do to make you happy. Because ultimately, that's all a kid wants. I kind of feel like this is actually a big cycle, and millennial parents are going back to boomers. Another thing that I keep seeing is these Gen Alpha kids being nostalgic over being in high school for COVID. Yeah, I don't think you would have wanted to completely have your adolescence taken away from you. Yeah, I don't think that would be fun, Gen Alpha. Like, who is even controlling these people where they think that that's okay to want to be back in a time where everybody was fucking locked inside and dying from an illness? You ever hear of this small little indie brand called Disney Company? Yeah, well, now they're selling minimalism merch as well, and it's a hoot. It's so great. Yeah, it looks fucking awful. It literally looks like it came from Michael's. It looks like something you would find at Home Goods, and it's Disney, so you know they're gonna overcharge for it too. There's this theory that I've heard and that I think about sometimes, where kind of like the theory where how trends come back every 20-30 years. It's similar to that, except where you don't like the style of your parents' house, so you go the opposite. So we kind of go from maximalist, minimalist, maximalist, minimalist. For instance, if you're Gen Z, our parents are probably either boomers or Gen X. Their parents mostly had maximalist, 50s, 60s, 70s decor, whereas our parents wanted to get away from that and most likely went kind of towards maybe minimalist. That means that a lot of us like more maximalism, and you see that a lot, I feel like, with Gen Z. We all kind of like having a lot of things or having a lot of decorations. So it makes sense that millennials will be wanting to go back to minimalism because their parents, being, I guess, boomers, would have had more maximalist decor. It's just a big cycle. Our kids might go back to minimalism. Who knows? Hopefully not, if they're smart. Let's also keep in mind that there is always a generation war going on, right? Generation ultimately doesn't really mean anything. It just really is kind of the grouping of people you grew up similarly to. If you're Gen Z and you were born between those years, we all kind of grew up similarly with similar things. If you're millennial, you all grew up with similar things, so on, so forth, so on, so forth, so on, so forth, so on, so forth. But for some reason, that means that we just have to hate the generations that come before us and after us. Because when we are the younger generation, the older generation hates us. They think we're the ones causing all the issues. That causes us to be like, no man, fuck you, we're not the issue, you're the issue. Then when we get older and we become the adults, we start to go, these fucking kids, they're ruining everything. They're not like us. They have all these issues. They're gonna ruin everything. The world is gonna burn, baby, burn. Sorry to say this, Gen Z, but we're kind of getting old. We're all either past college or in college at this point, and we're not getting any younger. And we're already complaining about Gen Alpha the same way everyone complains about the next one. Now, it's kind of a good thing because it keeps everybody in check somewhat, but it also turns into like a weird gatekeepy thing, especially because if you're Gen Z, you probably didn't grow up with iPhone/internet-ish kind of thing. So seeing all these iPad babies, we immediately go, bad. And while we're gonna get into that as well, it's also, we had video games, and that was kind of the thing that it was blamed on when we were kids. Also with like social media just starting, MySpace and Facebook, all of AOL, and that was a big talking point at the time. Another thing millennials can't seem to do right is discipline their children. We keep seeing Gen Alpha kids going into stores and just acting rude and not really caring about the other people around them. I feel like part of this is because they're not getting enough attention. Not getting enough attention equals rude behavior. It's a simple math equation. If you're not giving your kids enough attention for whatever reason, even if it's a reasonable response like you're working too much or whatever, you still can't just put an iPad in their face. The less time you spend with your children, the less attention that you give them, the more they're gonna act out because they don't know any better and they want your attention. I was in Target the other day and these kids just left this blanket in the middle of the aisle, so I moved it to the side because I was like, okay, whatever, maybe they were trying to leave it here, I don't know. And I stepped back and then they were looking at me and whispering. Then they start to look over and walk, and they pick up the blanket and look at me and walk away. How the fuck was I supposed to know that, first of all? Second of all, why would you leave it in the middle of the aisle? Why wouldn't you take it with you? A lot of these millennials tend to have that not my problem attitude because they say, oh this, oh that, it's their fault, it's their fault. Guess what? It's also your fault. There's always been issues. You can take action and take care of your children. These millennials really do you seem to have no filter and have a problem with aging as well. It seems like they still want to be in that Tumblr era, MySpace. Quirky, we're just little girl. Your parents, you're adults, you have 401ks now. Okay, we can stop with that. Aging is okay. You're allowed to age. You're allowed to be mature. Okay, I do not understand this concept of being stuck in time and then just like blaming it on everyone. Now, not all millennials are bad, you know? Most Gen Z icons are millennials. Think about it. Smosh, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. I mean, list goes on and on and on. And if it wasn't for those millennials, we would not have the things that we have today, like the YouTube we have and the Twitch we have. Fucking 3D Poppy Playhouse skibbities. Yeah, great, because that's gonna work out. Not to say that Gen Z is all prizes, okay? I think we're very aware. If anything, we're one of the most critical generations of ourselves. I feel like when a lot of Gen Z kids become parents, they might actually go away from that and go towards more of an analog lifestyle. Not saying that that's what we're gonna do or that's what I'm gonna do. Just something to think about. Much like these millennials' offsprings, I have been completely drained by this experience. Let me know what you think. If you're a millennial, feel free to give me your opinion. I do want to hear it. I don't hate you, believe it or not. I love you. Kisses, kisses, love you. I really do. Mwah. If you want, comment, like. If you want, like. And if you dislike, please like or dislike, because that still equals more things for me. Thank you, and shamalama ding dong. Instagram, TikTok, all that. Meh.